Good morning. Morning for me. Not sure when you're watching, but welcome back to my channel. So today I am just going to give you all a sneak peek at all that I have going on. So it has been a busy couple weeks for me, and I just wanted to share that all with you. First things first is I realized that I hadn't updated you all on my statistics class. So it turns out that if you haven't had calculus in your academic career at all, it makes it hard to take a statistics class in the statistics department. And that's not what I originally have to do, but I wanted to go ahead and get it over with. But turns out when you don't have calculus, it makes it harder. So I actually had to drop the class halfway through. I took the midterm and I failed the midterm. I had a C going in because again, C equals complete. That's all I was aiming for. But after the midterm, I had an F. After a lot of studying, and hold on, let me show you what my notebook looked like for statistics. This was half a semester. And I studied for a good week and a half preparing for the midterm, and that's just how it happened. So I decided to drop the class. I'm going to start my preliminary exams pretty soon, actually, so that was going to be the next step. I was trying to get this class out the way so I didn't have to worry about that next semester, but here we are. So those will start earlier than expected, and hopefully I'll get done with them right before starting my class next semester. So next semester I'll take a statistics class. That is the second part. The first part I took last summer in the education department, and then the one next semester will be in the education department as well. I'm not looking forward to still being in a class, but it is what it is. That will be more so geared towards my area of expertise because, again, I'm in a PhD in education. The specific title of my program is Social and Cultural Studies of Education. So that will be nice to finish that class, and it will be with other education majors. But I did want to give you all that update because I realized I hadn't done that. So today it's a busy day for me. I just finished and wrapped up turning in something last week for the United Methodist Church. They had done a race relation conversation via Zoom, and one of the speakers, she had talked about settler colonialism and just the ramifications for what it meant for this westward expansion that happened, and the role the church has played in that, or Christianity specifically has played in that, in the westward expansion. So they had this video, they had multiple speakers, and someone from the General Commission on Race and Religion for the United Methodist Church reached out to me and said, Christy, can you do a discussion piece for this? So I had been working on that. I watched the clip, and then I did certain discussion questions. I also did an opening prayer and a closing prayer, and also gave resources for that. So they commissioned me, meaning they paid me to do that 2-page discussion / reflection for them. So I'd been working on that. It took some time. I also have a conference paper. I'm actually going to do it today. I'm going to show you all some of my revision process, and then I'm actually going to record the presentation for you, and I'll either show you all of it or I'll show you some of it. It just depends on how it turns out. But I do have that presentation today, and the title of my presentation, and I have my paper here sitting in front of me because I'm going to show you all my revision process. So, claiming their power, how the Lumbee people shaped Indian education in Robinson County, North Carolina. I'm still a paper person. You'll see, I'm going to show you all a little bit more. You can see I kind of wrote in this paper. This has the title, the abstract, and then the actual paper. But I cut the paper down because it was about 10 pages. But we only have 10 minutes to talk in the presentation. There's actually going to be 3 of us in the conference presentation. And we only have about 10 minutes, so I'm not reading all 10 pages. So yesterday I worked on just cutting that down. So I have that. I've been doing interviews. I've had a couple first round interviews. One, I found out that I'm not moving forward, but I have a first round interview next week. And yes, actually this upcoming week, and I'm looking forward to talking with them. Very excited about the job. It's back in North Carolina, which would be ideal for me because I do want to get back to North Carolina. So that's what I've been up to. Like I said, it's been busy, and I'm going to show you all a little bit of my revision process. First, I'm going to show you some of the books that are really my go-to books when it comes to the things that I'm studying, when it comes to Indian education, looking at the agenda of the federal government when it came to Indian education, and knowing that that was cultural extraction. They were trying to take the Indian out. One of the quotes from one of the leaders of this movement of Indian education was to take the Indian out of the man so that they would be more Americanized, be more civilized. And I'll put that quote in the video for you all or in the description. So just wanted to take you on this little journey. Like I said, it's been a little bit busy, but wanted to give you kind of a snapshot of this PhD life / this research scholar life that I have as well, because I know I haven't talked about that so much. So I hope you all enjoy, and you'll see a little bit of my revision process and a little bit of my conference, if not all of my conference papers. This is just a small little snapshot. This was after I got done with the United Methodist Commission discussion that I told you all about. This is usually how my desk is looking when I'm working. This is just the real me right here. So you saw the clip of what my desk looked like after working on the commission piece for the United Methodist Church. These are some of the books that I use and have really become my go-to. This was in the stack. I didn't use bell hooks for this particular project, but bell hooks is an important part of the work that I do when it comes to critical pedagogy and how we look at curriculum. The morning I'm shooting this, I did make pancakes, and I made a TikTok to go along with my pancakes. So just wanted to show you all that before we jump into my paper revisions. Hope you enjoy. Yum. So a little early, so trying to get the lighting just right for you all. But again, this is a paper I worked on yesterday. I went in my office because I like the double screens. And as you can see, I started on it and I just kind of marked out different things that I didn't want to say in the presentation, but that were in my paper. Some I took off whole blocks. And that's kind of the whole 10 pages there. So once I was revising that, I kept this original paper at 10 pages, but then I actually did another presentation outline, I guess you will say. At professional conferences, not all the time, but most times, people are just going to read their paper specifically or directly from the paper. So I actually just did the shortened version. And as you can see now, instead of 10 pages, it's actually 7 pages. So I'm just going to sit here and actually work through this and do a PowerPoint. You'll see this is my makeshift kind of cover letter. Shout out to Marvin Gaye, my camera cover, because I get very paranoid when it comes to conferences and presentations. Then I'm going to be laying on my couch and all of a sudden my camera's going to come on or something and they see me laying on the couch while I'm listening to a virtual presentation. So you'll see that, but we're just going to spend some time together. I'll show you kind of me just working through this, the last revisions of this paper. So I just took some time. I actually just pressed public on my video from last week. Hopefully you have seen that. It's the one about popping tags. I talked about consignment and thrifting, some of my closet finds, which was really fun to make, and the editing was very fun to do. So I hope you have seen that. So I just pressed play on that, and then also before that I ran through my whole paper. Because again, I'm going to read it because it just makes sense to do the presentation that way. I'm going to have a couple slides, but I went through it and it's 12 minutes long. We only get about 10 minutes. There are 3 of us in the presentation, And we also have a chair who will do like an introduction, and we have a discussion. So the whole session is an hour, and if the three of us get 10 minutes, but then the discussion, which I really like, because we've already sent, it's a professor from actually the University of Hawaii, who is our discussion. So he is going to talk about all of our papers together, and then he'll also give us constructive feedback on the papers, which is really good. So we give him time to do that at the end, and then there are times for questions. So I'm trying to stick to 10 minutes, and I'm at 12 minutes. So I want to cut off 2.5 minutes. And it's taken me longer to get to the bulk of my paper, which is talking about indigenous education in Robeson County, North Carolina. And I'm setting it up with the backdrop of the federal Indian education agenda. So I'm probably gonna have to cut some of that in the beginning, just so I can get to the bulk of my presentation and what I want to talk about, the Lumbee people and Indian education in Robeson County, North Carolina, more. So that's what I'm gonna sit here and work on. I hope you all are enjoying this time with me. As you see my process kind of working through this. This is actually my first conference. I got a paper accepted to a conference in May of this last year, but the conference didn't happen because it was hard to get it to a virtual setting within just a month and a half, 2 months. So I didn't get to present there. So this is my second conference paper. I've had multiple presentations at professional conferences, but this is my second conference paper and my first one that I'm presenting. So I think I'm doing great so far. Just gonna continue finishing up and get prepared for my 10 minutes in the spotlight. So you all enjoy. I decided to move to my couch just for a change of scenery and to review and go over my paper a couple more times. Got a little liquid motivation. I like the Mexican Cokes because they have cane sugar. Hello, friends. So that is a wrap for me. The conference is over. I did go to the last session. I was the second to the last session. So I wanted to support those who are at last because it's always hard to be the last session of the conference. So I did go there. I'm going to go take a nap now because it has been a long week, and next week's going to be long as well with doing more food boxes for students, which I did at the beginning of this week. Going to do that more for my college students that I work with. Also have a first round interview, and I have a lunch and learn that I'm going to be preparing for. I'm presenting at that, and I will tell you all more about that in a later video, but I'm going to prepare for that. But for now, I'm going to go get in my comfy clothes, and I will probably take a nap. It is Sunday for me, so it has been a long weekend. I don't feel like I had that much of a weekend because of the conference, but I've been able to get some cleaning and resting in along the way, so I'm going to go do that, and I hope you all have a great week. I hope you enjoy seeing this video. My presentation, I'm actually going to put as a separate video because that ran about 12 minutes. We ended up having 12 minutes, and I thought we only had 10. So it ended up going about 12 because I was working with my PowerPoint and things like that. So that will be separate. I hope you all have a great day, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. I do look forward to hearing what you thought about the video, and if you have questions about my research, let me know. For now, I'm going to go take that nap. See y'all later. Bye.